Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy, so keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
You speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And our like sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
Nosfero, does this word not sound like the death bird culling the living dead at dawn? It is the name both ghouls and demons dare not say, for they know it means death for the undead.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How are you doing? Welcome to Shanth and Jetty Art. I am Shanth and Jetty, and yeah, I'm switching it up a bit right now. I've got some painting to do. I want to see who's here in the chat, and been working hard on a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different work, and also just kind of freshening up the show a little bit. Yes, indeed, 496 backers. Thank you, Stephen Rockwood. Thank you, guys, all of you guys. Let me see who's here in the chat. Hang on a second. Let's see who's here. First off, we had Past Master Dan. It is great, as always, to see you, Past Master Dan. And indeed, there are always waffles on the menu. Never forget. And great to see you, John. How are you doing? Harry B is here. And, of course, Eric Weathers, my letterer for Nosfero. Thank you, guys, for getting us past 30K. My goodness. And then we cruised past 31K. So you guys are amazing. Thank you, Comicscape. Thank you, all of you guys. You're awesome. Timmy Mello is here. Hello, Timmy Mello. How are you doing? Leg Kick 1 is here. Scottsley is here. It's good to see all of you guys in the chat. Let's see. Stephen Rockwood, of course, is here. And I got a couple more. Let me see who else I've got. I've got Phil here. What's up, Phil? How you doing, brother? I have got your package right. Well, that sounds bad. Let me try that one more time. I have got a huge box. Wait, let me try that again. That doesn't really work. I've got this big old bound. You know what? Never mind. I've got something ready to mail for you the next time I hit the post office. I've got 2 things to mail. I'm just waiting to hear back from one other person. Good to see you, Phil. All right, let's see who else we've got here in the chat. We've got Son of Liberty Radio is here. We have got Devil Flyer Momentum. Hello and hail. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Who else have we got? Let's see here. Who have I missed? We've got Charlie Stevenson. Good to see you, Charlie. I hope you're doing well. Hey to you as well. And okay, let's see. Prater 7 is here. Hey, what's up? What's up with you, my friend? Oh my God. Yeah, I don't even know where everything has gone lately. It's been crazy. Yes, indeed. Shipment. That's what it's all about. Shipment. That was the word I was looking for. 80s made consumer. How are you doing, brother? It is great to see you. By the way, I enjoyed your Pulp show. I caught it later. I was all messed up with my sleep schedule. Great show. And it was so great to see Nosfero there in the thumbnail, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, 2023 is going to be fire. Amen. Oh, today is Thanksgiving in Canada. We sacrificed a goat. Is it really Thanksgiving today, or was it yesterday? I heard it was, man, I didn't know it was Thanksgiving in Canada today. I thought that was a couple days ago. So let me know. Indeed, everybody. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit what we're working on, what we've been up to, and all kinds of stuff. Got a lot of painting to do today, and I've got to paint some blood. There will be blood tonight. Yeah, it's been a wild couple of days. I'm packing up the original artwork for the Cyberfrog trading card. A gentleman had contacted me way back when Ethan revealed I was doing a card on his Patreon. And I told him that after Ethan, he had first dibs on it and got in touch with him. And so I'm going to be sending that out to him. And so that's been one of the things I've been working on. And then, of course, starting a new Nosfero page today, and things are not going well for this vampire. And I can't wait to paint this thing. 40% Zed, good to see you. Well, the day off is today, but people ate turkey over the weekend. Gotcha. Absolutely right. Well, happy Thanksgiving, belated or otherwise. And much love to our Canadian brothers to the north. Brothers and sisters, dare I say. And yeah, it's great to see you guys. So yeah, I'm working on this page of Nosfero. And it was interesting because I started looking at, just a bunch of different things and was watching, kind of keeping tabs on everything that happens on different YouTube channels, especially the ones that I watch. And one of the things that has been really kind of amazing for me to do, and I would encourage any of you guys to do it, is going back and looking at where so many of these channels started and where so many of these channels were when they started out. Oh, let me see here, past Master Dan. Love what you're working on. Now it's time for a nap. Long weekend. Amen. I hear you. And I was watching a video from Anna, that Star Wars girl, earlier today, and she was talking about the Nick Rekieta situation and things like that, and just how two-faced certain people can be. And then she said something that I really appreciated, and I think I've said this about her before, but I'm not positive. I may have said it on an older stream, but she said something about just how much work she puts in and how much work people put in who are YouTubers to grow their channels and to get things done. And I started thinking about just when I go and I look at certain channels, I like to go back to early on in the channel and see where they started and see how many things they've, refreshed and changed. And it's always incredible, man. Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Well, I mean, for me, and I couldn't be happier for him. The thing that really has amazed me is that is again, it's a little bit like watching some of the stuff that's happened with Ethan, where there's been a lot of people that have benefited from, Nick promoting them and putting them out there on the stage, who were, pretty silent when he was going through all of that. And I think Anna was right to acknowledge that. I think that there's just so much potential for anybody who works hard and puts stuff together to grow and be successful. But every now and again, you get an act of grace that helps you to get your channel out there or get your work out there. And I think everybody should always be as humble as they can be about it, and certainly have gratitude. And, the amount of people that Nick has helped and, helped promote, it's kind of, it's strange. You can always sort of spot them, but it's still really weird. Let's see what else we've got here. Anna is true blue. Absolutely. Wherever that comes from. Absolutely right. Indeed. Ethan's early stuff is very different. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Ethan, and a lot of people, I mean, I remember, I think it was, I was looking at Razorfist's early stuff, and my wife was, I was saying, look at what he's doing now, and then look at what he was doing back then. And she's like, is that his bed in the background? And I went, yeah, that's what it is. And Siege Perilous, great to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. ASMR, Ethan. Absolutely. And I started thinking about, how whatever you're doing, there are so many opportunities to get out the word about your work, but you're going to have to work hard and you're going to have to put the time in. So anyway, that led me to doing some fun stuff to freshen up the site. And unfortunately, whenever I do stuff to, or freshen up the show, whenever I do something new, I have to change so many things. And oh my gosh, it was crazy stuff. Holy cow, the chat jumped again. My God. All right, let's see here. We've got Jimmy Reyes. Good to see you, Jimmy. How you doing, brother? We've got Bordeaux. Good to see you, Bordeaux. Julie Pascal. Hail, chat. Hail, shop. Hail to you, Julie. It's good to see you. And who else? Oh my God, it's jumping again. Oh man, I need like several different pairs of glasses. I remember your early workshop. It was, thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Back at you, brother. What do you call it? I was playing the trailer earlier for Omega Storm. So yeah, that campaign's doing great. And I'm so happy for you guys. I play at the start of every show. Andrew Wilson, good afternoon, Injetti. His paintbrush on the ready. Bob Ross gave us happy trees, but Shanth makes this look like a breeze. How'd I do with that, Andrew Wilson? Yeah, man. I mean, it's a fascinating thing because, when you're working and you're putting this stuff together, you've got to really think about, okay, well, what do I want to do? And so I wanted to switch things up. I wanted to nod to the Iron Age and do some, Iron Age related stuff and kind of just push the channel towards, what I'm doing with Nosfero. And of course, that meant having to fix a bunch of intros, changing the type, and I had to make a new cheerleader video. Oh my gosh. And it was so funny. I mean, it was just the amount of stuff that goes into it, but that is a part of our job right now. And when I look at some of the lunacy of some of the people going at my brother Gabe, the thing that always makes me laugh about it is that they have no concept of how to use their time in a way that's going to be beneficial to them long term. And by that I mean they have no concept of that they should be making thumbnails, they should be making videos, they should be out promoting themselves. They don't have to climb over or seeking Twitter clout or whatever else is not the way to get your career going, and it's not the way to do anything. It's not about clout, it's about hard work, it's about dedication, it's about building something. And it got me thinking about this. What's up, groomsman? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Let's see here, John. Yeah, waffle iron. Oh, you bet it is. You bet it is. It got me thinking about this thing that I read a long time ago called "How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky," and it was a Twitter thread, and it was brilliant. It made the rounds, and but it had this categorization that I really was affected by, and it really got me thinking. And it delineated between people playing wealth creation games and people playing status games. And one of the things that got me thinking about was with this whole Nick Rekieta situation is that he doesn't see what he does on YouTube as about status. He's not trying to be in with the in crowd. He's trying to make money for his family. He's trying to grow it. He's treating it seriously like a business, and he's been working his tail off on it. He works constantly. And I started thinking about how so much of what leads to being able to do what you want to do is keeping yourself singularly focused on what you're doing in terms of wealth creation, but also not getting sucked up in people playing status games. And you can always spot them because they just have the same attitude, which is, whatever is hot at the moment and whatever is this, and the grind of what we do, of making videos and painting and making books. That's where it all happens. And I just thought it was fascinating. Cowabunga, what's up? I love the Iron Age so far. How would you explain the Iron Age to somebody who doesn't know what it is? Oh, okay, I've got that for you. Hang on one second here. We've got the Art and Times of Jay Ryan. Hello, how are you doing? Did I miss anybody else? Ice Queen. Hello, Ice Queen. And who else? Did I miss anybody else? All right, cool. So here's how I would describe the Iron Age. And this is the thing about it. The Iron Age is essentially a return to the hard work of rebuilding the culture. I would say that if I was going to define the ages of comics, you have the Golden Age, you have the Silver Age, you have Bronze Age, you have all these different ages. And then you've got the Modern Age. And I think what followed the Modern Age was the Postmodern Age in the literal sense of what postmodernism means. And what it essentially did was it deconstructed and it laid waste to everything. So today's creators are essentially in the same positions as Walt Disney and all of the creators who had to found businesses and found DC or found Marvel Comics from the beginning, from the ground up, and build things. So that's why the Iron Age is we're taking, the ore right out of the ground and we're, making iron and we're having to forge everything. It's raw, it's gritty, and it's about bringing that vitality of creation back to it. So that's how I think about the Iron Age. I think of the Iron Age as being very much, like forging, the Ulfbert or like a Viking sword. And, it cracked me up because my character, Nosfero's name translates to iron nose. So that was a little bit fortuitous and strange. But yeah, for me, the Iron Age is about building stuff, with, the kind of raw determination of starting from scratch and not waiting for permission, doing it yourself, making it by hand. I hate to be blunt, but creators have to be their own pimp. Oh, yeah, you're right. Get your product and project out there. The grind of growing one's business. Yeah, that's all it is. It's everybody's got their own business. Shanth, you are part of the old age of comics. God, I know it. Amen. No white hairs yet on Shanth. Well, look, check the beard out. It's pretty bad. And there's a few in there. I consider 2016 now to be the stolen age of comics. That's true. French nihilists, if they work in the main flow of nonsense. Yeah, that's true. Touche, indeed. Thanks for watching my video, The Groomsman. There you go. Look at that. It was a toss-up between Iron Age or Nose Age, or Nosferatu Age. Let's see here. The Iron Age is going to be a welcome genesis to the new era of entertainment. Yeah, excuse me. So the Iron Age is kind of like the Ramones of comics, nice and raw. Yeah, I would say it's also like Metal Hurlant and Mobius and all of those artists founding that anthology magazine and sort of breaking out of the mainstream. That's the big thing for me. People have compared it to, to other movements, and I have too, like Image Comics and things like that. But there's one fundamental difference between Image Comics and so there's a few big differences. One is the diamond distribution system has broken down, and there's no longer that, and there's also no longer that hurdle of trying to get your stuff through diamond. So Image was very much a creator-owned enterprise, and it was very important in the arc of comic books, but it's a creator-owned enterprise, but it still used a lot of the old infrastructure to make it happen. We're kind of building the infrastructure and trying to stay, loose and not married to one particular system, because that's what we have to do, because we're our own boss. We talk to the printers directly, and I mean, as did they, but we don't go through Diamond. We go directly to you guys, which means we're packing up boxes too. And so I love that about it. That's what makes it so fun. Let's see. So Ramones, yes. Jimmy Reyes, yes. Stabilize. Stabilize in the heart of a star. They're stabilized in the heart of a star. If they are on the edges, then they explode. There you go. Enrique Cabrera, good to see you. Not only has it broken when it was broken down, when it was fully running, the entire mainstream refused to allow CG anywhere near them. Well, I would agree with that, and I'd go a step further. When Razor Fist did his Become the Culture video, which I would encourage anybody to watch, in that video, he talked about the fact that there started to be this editorial breakdown way before any of that stuff. And that editorial breakdown was essentially rooted in the fact that, you had people who started getting in who were career bureaucrats, weren't very good at writing, weren't very good at drawing, and started to see themselves as the creative people. And that started to kind of continue. And so they began to be sort of what happened in higher ed. There became this incentivizing of keeping out or keeping opportunity from highly skilled people. And if highly skilled people do get in, attacking their character and driving them out. And that's what I believe happened to Ethan. And that's what I believe happened to a lot of creators. That if you were a superstar, they were afraid of you. But if you were a like Frank Miller, but still they would try to throw him under the bus. But if you were in the middle and good and contributing, there was this resentment that built up. It's a culture of resentment. Let's see here. Sean the Jetty Art, having a creator-owned title like Nosfero the Crypt Walker, I'd like to hear your thoughts on Werewolf by Night. Oh, yeah. I was talking with someone about it, and I was watching John talk about, I don't know if you were on that stream or not, but I agreed with a lot of what he had to say. Unlike what Mark Twain said about gold mines, a gold mine is a hole in the ground with a liar at the bottom. Iron Age stands antithetical to such. Right on. Hey, General Piggy, great to see you, my friend. Cranberry Langers, great to see you. What's up, Mutt Man? How are you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Let's see here. Yeah, hail the motherfucking chat, indeed. Let's see. Groomsman. This is the most calming video you've ever watched. Someone painting a bloodbath. My internet's down, so I can't work. Oh, no, Cranberry Langer. Sorry. Bureaucrats equal politicians. Politics always kills the spirit. Indeed. Not to get too much into politics or anything, but the problems with mainstream comics nowadays is the fact that they want to sell a political message to us. I don't know how, and they don't know how to be entertaining. First, yeah, I think that the the challenges of anybody trying to sell goods and entertainment related goods is the same that it's always been. And it is something that you can improve at, that you can work on. I mean, I think everybody gets better at streaming and broadcasting the more time they spend. And I think sometimes it's hard, but, and sometimes, you've got to find different strategies, and there's all these different aspects to it. But I think the issue of getting your work in front of eyeballs and making work that's good enough to draw eyeballs in is the same challenge there's always been, which is do something amazing that I want to turn up to see. That's what the audience is essentially asking for. And I think that when you think that you're owed, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, when you don't think about that and you take away that pressure of having to entertain the audience, I think people get complacent, and that's a big part of what I've seen. Change is bad to those who profit from how it's been. Yes, pride and jealousy always leads to ruination of seemingly strong community. Indeed, things remaining the same. Gotcha. I know exactly what you mean. Hail Piggy and Cranberry. Yep, it's like the understandable. Yeah, I think that the other aspect of it is that that it's very difficult to get used to existing in the state of discomfort and uncertainty that you have to exist in when you're a independent creator, and it takes time to acclimate to it. And when you find creators who are very married to that system that exists, as it stands right now, I think the thing they're most addicted to and they're most obsessed with is, things being predictable. And I think that's why when you attack the predictable system that gives them comfort, that's why they freak out so much. That's why they get so upset. And, one of the things that we see as they're, oh shoot, hang on, let me adjust that. There we go. One of the things that we're seeing right now is as that system collapses, they're going to get more and more desperate, because the status quo is what they know. And it's nerve-wracking to think about, having to figure out your own thing, having to create something. I actually think that it's a minor miracle when somebody like Todd McFarlane comes along or into that industry and creates something new and gets it out there. I think that's a minor miracle, because it's so hard to do anything different inside of an environment where the status quo is so important. If there's one thing, though, I would say that has changed in this particular time period we're in with comics, is it used to be I know when I was submitting stuff, it was this way, and I know it was this way on the other side. There was so much pressure to make sure your artwork was on model, that you were being true to the characters, that you knew the history. And overnight, with that loss of generation who appreciated how much time these characters had been on the planet, you lost any sense of cultural continuity in these industries. And it's rough, man. Rough to watch. Muttman says, mainstream creators have never been more under the boot of large business, and indie creators have never been more powerful. The Iron Age is here. Amen. Yeah. Exactly the same in academia, vested interests and shrinking minds. Yep, I know it well. They're getting violent less physically in their death throes. Always going to happen. Yeah, because, it's what Joe Frazier said his coach always taught him. A man's dangerous when he's hurt, and you got to be careful. And yeah, they're wounded and they're lashing out. It's unfortunate, because it's not going to help them any in the long run. And got to crack the neck there. It's not going to help them in the long run, and it's not psychologically good for them. And I just hope, though, I think sometimes people just need to take a walk outside and get some air. What is it that Mel Gibson said in the movie Signs? He's like, all right, everybody needs to just calm down, have some fruit or something. He's correct. Yep. I, for one, welcome the Marxists. Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I do. And I think that more and more people are starting to branch off from that and try to, put things together so they have some stability. I could sort of see the writing on the wall of where this stuff is going. And, you can only celebrate bad ideas for so long before you have to pay the consequences. I think it was Ayn Rand who said that we can avoid reality, but we can't avoid the consequences, or we can ignore reality, but we can't avoid or ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And what you're seeing right now is the consequences of ignoring reality. But if you've never been told, the phrase at any point in your life, that's just the way it is, then it's hard for you to deal with, or like things are, sorry you didn't win. Sorry, things didn't go your way, but that's how it went. And then on the flip side of that, you've got another side, which is, if you cannot see the abundance of opportunities that are always out there, even if you don't feel like they are, there's always something right out there that you can find. If you don't believe that, then it's easy to go down that sort of road of, nihilism. And I think you've got kind of the worst of both of those worlds right now with certain people. And I think that, they do well to look out into the world and look for positive role models instead of looking for their enemies, because what you focus on shows, I'm working on it, Steven. I just saw that comment. Yep. Posting links indeed. Hello. Everybody saying hello. Jarring to say the least. Yes. Hail chat. Hail Sean. Hail D-Wag. Much love, brother. Not long ago, someone recommended a book to me, but not once did they mention anything in the book. The entirety of the conversation revolved around the writer being, yeah, I know. It's weird. That's a weird thing, isn't it? It's really making me want to post to Rumble now. Actually, I just started posting on Rumble, so all my stuff is going over there too. Fruit is needed. Fruit is needed. Hail Bullet Ninja, absolutely. Where's Bullet Ninja? Did I miss Bullet Ninja? 1 second here. I swear my reading comp is going downhill, guys. That's true. And they'll be told by their supporters and people who are sympathetic that reality is actually, yes. Well, and that's it, isn't it? I mean, it's actually pretty skilled. What's up, Tara? Good to see you, my friend. The easiest thing in the world is to make somebody, or the worst thing in the world is to make somebody afraid of the very thing that can help them. And that's what they're doing, Hey, what's up, Jetto Jaga? It's good to see you, my friend. Hail to you. Let's see. Improbi is here. Good to see you, my friend. Groomsman, nice new avatar. Indeed. Patrick Thomas Parnell's Last of the Seekers. Patrick, we're sending love to you, brother. I hope you guys are getting back on your feet. I know that's a tremendous shock when something like that happens to your home, and keeping you in my thoughts, brother, and take care. So everybody's sending some love, hopefully, to Patrick. PTP, hope he's doing well. And that him and Whitney are digging their way out of that. Yeah, absolutely. Sean's Bullet Ninja are times. Okay, yeah, that's right. Gotcha. Like, just making sure I'm not missing anything. What's up, the Green Laser? Good to see you, my friend. So yeah, I mean, if you look at it, from the standpoint is that you've got a lot of misery in this world because you've got people who are playing, the male and female sex off of one another and saying, you guys in academia and higher learning, you guys have to be enemies. And that is very well, one of the most important answers that you find in life. And oftentimes people find it in high school and college. Well, if you get to college and that's taken off the table, so many things are taken off the table. So many, here's one. If you get to college and you want to be an artist and technical skill is frowned upon and the teaching of technical skill is frowned upon, well, that's actually where a skilled artist gets the majority of their joy and their passion is from trying something. It's like telling an athlete to be out of shape. And it can be very, very frustrating because the craft at the end of the day and what you see me doing here, it's the challenge of this, of trying to make something beautiful and failing at it and succeeding at it as you learn to become a professional. That was the thing that inspired me and drove me. And when you make the metrics for aesthetics completely subjective, which they are not completely subjective, then you get people, feel this total sense of hopelessness. And so my stuff and the work that I do is very much about hope and passion, but also the full range of the human experience, which is what you're seeing here. Wait, what? Bullet Ninja's messing with me now. Ouch, indeed. Yeah, the Hurricane Ian took their roof. Yeah, freaking awful, man. Absolutely awful. That Umbrella Guy's channel. What's up, that Umbrella Guy? Much love to you, brother. Let's see here. My friends, Jetta Jaga. Last night I watched EVS. Oh yes, on with Doomcock and Tug on the Mig. And wait, what? And Tug on Migdown with Trex. And this morning, Mercada was on with Alex Jones. The planets are aligning. Yeah, that's pretty nuts, man. Is it bad to be out of shape as an athlete? That's not good. No, it's not. It's not. And I'm going to try to get in better shape. Failure is an integral part to success, says Enrique Cabrera. Fail faster, succeed sooner. Absolutely. SJWs took that phrase a bit too religiously. Yeah. I think, and Hail Moromi, good to see you. I think that the worst thing that you can teach a young person, and frankly, is malpractice for a teacher, is that you can't survive your disappointments and you can't survive failure. It is the ultimate form of teaching learned helplessness, is teaching people that they can't survive their failure, that they can't survive, that they're weak. And that is the thing that's tough, because what it eventually does is it will make you weak, and it will guide and shape the way that you view things and how you see yourself. And I do think that this learned helplessness experiment that was done in teaching and parenting for the last couple of decades, we're seeing its fruits now. And I think it was an absolutely catastrophic philosophy. And it's a philosophy by people who the people who teach it haven't grown up, and they haven't made anything. And that's the real issue here. The first comics I ever made, and some of you guys may even have them, which is terrifying. The first comics I ever made weren't for anybody but for me to learn how to make a comic. That's what they were. I was a 14-year-old kid. I was always about making things and printing things and publishing things and doing things. And the joy of work and the joy of success is great, but the work is where it's got to start. And once the work gets to a certain point, then you get it in front of, professionals' eyes in your, teens and 20s, depending on, and you start understanding standards of quality, standards of ability. You find artists that inspire you. That's a huge part of it. You know what I mean? Charlie Stevenson said, kids have to learn that not all of their work belongs on the refrigerator. Absolutely right. Got Blade. Hail, Got Blade. Well, I had people on Reddit ask me why I do so much detail in the paintings I posted there. Yeah. There's a lot of different reasons. For me, it's meditative. I love it. I find detail to be very meditative. Well, it's designed to instill power in the elite. So if you raise up generations of lemmings, you become the most powerful. I would say instill power, yes, but I would define the elite as bureaucrats, And so what Comicsgate does, and what, the Iron Age of comics is about, for me anyway, is this idea, and it's a very important idea, is that we can do it without the bureaucracy. We need the industry. We need, like, in terms of printers, we need those kinds of things, those industrious people, and they need people having stuff printed. But we can do it without the bureaucracy. And I think that's why you're seeing the kind of work that's happening, is that when it gets to the point to where the bureaucracy isn't justifying, it doesn't improve things, it slows them down and has a corrosive effect. That's the ultimate sign of the takeover of middle management. I mean, here's the way I look at it, guys. And what's up, good stuff? Great to see you. Oh, wait, hold on. Stephen Rockwood said, I think it was Abraham Lincoln who said, it's great. Yes, he was. I almost got there, man. Oh my gosh, Stephen Rockwood, you're killing me. But this is the thing, right? Is that, how do I even follow that? You guys totally kill. Oh, I know what I was going to say. That you have to have people in leadership who, know what's going on in any system. Bureaucrats want to create committees and things so that as new leaderships come in, one, they're bureaucrats like themselves, and two, they have no understanding of what actually works. Now, a good leader knows the people who are productive and knows the people who actually contribute and actually work. And the problem is that the situation that somebody like Ethan found himself in should have never even happened, because the conversation should have been, okay, you don't like this guy, you don't like his politics. Okay, well, that's all fine and good. He is one of our most productive workers. He is in that top part of the Pareto distribution, and you aren't. And so at the point to which subjectivism takes over and it's bureaucratic rules that frankly can be lived up to by anybody who's not busy and productive, which is to say, I never say anything wrong and I vote the right way. I don't sell any comics, but that's beside the point now, because we've got this new subjective attitude. That's what leads to this kind of stuff. And it's cutting off your nose to spite your face, because the second your most productive people see that they're not valued and they're forced to strike out on their own, they actually learn how valuable they really are. And I think that that's what the process is. I don't think that all these people, it's easy to say now, but that's probably Image's greatest contribution, was that Image Comics. Hey, what's up there, Eric? How you doing, brother? I think that that people, ride off of that brand for so long of DC and all these things, and they see the brand as this big thing, like a magic wand, that if you have it and you wave it over yourself, it makes you a skilled artist because the brand validates you. And they don't realize the reason why the brand means anything is because of a lot of highly skilled individuals built it. And if you chase those people out, and if you erode that by people who don't know what's going on, then it will be worthless very, very quick. And Steve Jobs did an interview once and it was, the clip is always referred to as why big companies fail and how they're rotted out from the inside. And he outlined all this stuff. And that's the stuff that I think that, that this channel's about, and the work that I'm doing is about. Look, I mean, Nosfero is kicking ass right now, guys. It's doing great, and I'm grateful to all of you for that. My sketchbook 340. Hola. Hey, what's up? Hola to you as well. Good to see you. Good stuff. Instead of Waffle Age, Iron Age, or Waffle Iron, this will be known as the chat that tries to kill Sean with humor. It's inevitable. That's how I want to go, though. Eric Weathers' YouTube channel, my brother, go check him out. My letterer as well. Cannot wait for that. Hail Sketch. Everybody's saying hello, hello. At the Groomsman, I charge by the letter for Jonathan Jetty art. We know that, Eric. We know it. We know it well. Let's see, Eric Weathers, smart man. You'll be a millionaire. No, not by me talking, though. Then he'd be a millionaire. Man. That's for sure. Yeah, he'd be doing A-OK if he got paid by every word I said. That's for sure. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, it's the house collapses. It's funny. The how do I word it? Sooner or later, these folks turn around and go, so who exactly here is left that's still making us money? And if I were to give anybody advice, it would be, do not be that last person out trying to keep these places afloat. Because not only will you be thrown under the bus, and not only will it not be appreciated, but you should be laying groundwork for getting the hell out so that you're not doing it by force. Because when you're working with people who don't have skills and don't bring money to the table and don't know how to, move things, I mean, it's just a matter of time before you're doomed. And CG puts you in a situation that it's like everything you do, you've got to build. You've really got to build it. And I'm 3 years, I think, into YouTubing, so not a wild amount, but definitely a consistent amount. And I'm still trying to think of ways, to do that while I'm trying to paint, while I'm handling all the other stuff I've got going on. And so when you look at something like this, let me let it focus, and you see me roughing in Nosfero, soon to be holding a sword. That's what it's all about. It's a pandemic of Trump derangement, mental zombie-like apocalypse where anyone even slightly to the right and is demonized. What happened to EVS never should have been what was needed to expose them. I agree, and I'm sure he would agree with that. It was crap. Let's see here. Indeed, a corporate sacrifice. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing for me about it, right? Is that how do I word it? There's not even any morality behind it. Okay. There's not even, I mean, even though people would like to think there's some kind of like they have an ideology and they're trying to get this, it's actually not. they hate ability, competency, and excellence so much they're literally willing, to let it destroy their lives just to rage against it. And when you're dealing with that situation and it's not a rational situation, you're doomed. And these corporations took it too seriously. And I actually blame the people who hired all of these people, because at some point there was somebody who's, at many different levels, all the way up to the top, there was somebody whose job it was to mind the store and make sure that the people working there at any company, any corporation, whether it's Walt Disney, Marvel, it doesn't matter, Warner Brothers, it was somebody whose job it was to make sure that productive people were being rewarded, promoted, and giving more to do, and unproductive people were being marginalized, as they should be, because they don't bring anything to the table. It's that simple, guys. It's not rocket science. And those people failed catastrophically. And I don't even know, you hear a little bit of it, but I don't even know if we know all of the names of these failed corporate people. I know that, what's his name? Bob Chapek, essentially fired some dude who was a big problem at Disney. And I know he's trying to right that ship, although good luck now. It's gotten a bit ridiculous over there. But, when all those people, those Imagineers and folks started fleeing over to Universal Studios, it should have caused a panic at Disney, but it didn't. So now you have people, redesigning some of these rides with crayons, it looks like. These ideas that they're trying to do are so stupid. And they haven't got the money for it. So they're still trying to live like they're rich. Let me see here. See who else we've got here. Hail, good stuff indeed. Timmy Mello changes from politician to politician, so will become maybe. Who knows? I just think that people are getting tired. I'm developing a Lucador-inspired superhero. This is awesome. Oh, excellent. Very cool. On the contrary, they despise morality. Yes, you're absolutely right. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and wealth. Absolutely. Matthew 6:24. Indeed. Let's see here. ESG customers, not both. Yep, that's true. The groomsmen, get off my turf with the dad jokes. I'm the corny one around these parts. Oh my God, you guys are funny. Yeah, and I'm actually surprised. Now that I'm doing this whole Iron Age thing, I'm surprised nobody has sent a super chat to see if there's any changes, if I've got a new cheerleader, or cheerleader animation. So, some people just might not be curious about that. So there you have it. Back to work for me. But yeah, man, I think that it's been a crazy couple of weeks and a great couple of weeks. Let me say that. It's been a great couple of weeks. Nosfero hitting 30K was great, but just, some of the friendships and some of the people that I've really gotten to know in this last year, just it was really touching, and it made me realize how much I'm just appreciative of all the great stuff that's happened and all that stuff. And I've worked really hard for it, and I'm working hard for it every single day, but it does not change, my desire to give thanks to God and thanks to all of the people who support and back this book, and who support beautiful artwork and things that are important, seeing, Razor Fist getting his due as the incredible social critic he is. And also, with his idea of the Iron Age, I just thought this is something I really want to support. I want people to understand what this is, because, he's one of those people who's right quite often. And I think that's important. It was John Malin. Let's see here. Pixar's original creators and the best people are now at Skydance. That's exactly what happens with Lasseter, Brad Bird. They're about to get demolished by the OG Pixar. Yes, they are. And one of the things that was interesting is, if you look up the article where there's a person who says, one person who wasn't anonymous and who sort of did the pile on John Lasseter because she wasn't getting enough, I don't know what, attention or success at Pixar, and that made John this and that or whatever the hell else. I was like, wonder what these people are doing now. Are they at Pixar? Are they contributing in animation? No, they're like a part-time designer and spiritual healer. And I'm just like, oh my God. So you let this random person destroy Pixar. You let these random people destroy this house that this guy had built. And as their movies do worse and worse and worse, the justification for them being there and having those offices will decrease, and a lot of people are going to get laid off as a result. All because somebody did not feel like, what, people weren't nice, or people were mean, or people... Give me the scenario. I bet you I can give you a scenario that's just as bad as anything you experience in any kind of job. And it's the amount of power that those freaking idiots were allowed to wield for what amounted to hearsay. Was there a crime committed? No. It was just a bunch of hearsay and a bunch of garbage. But either way, it's very selective in what we listen to. And they destroyed Pixar. So what's John Lasseter doing? He's going to build back because he was what made Pixar great. The building didn't make them great. And the people went to work for him. Look at everybody voting with their feet. Oh my God, groomsmen, what are you guys doing? Holy cow. I turned my head for a second. David G, all hail the Iron Age. Oh my God, you guys just sent a whole bunch of super chats. All right. Whew. All right, here you guys go. You're going to get a bunch of these now. So here you have it. Ready? Brace yourselves. Charge! There you go. Let me get some more here. We've got, oh my God, you guys are nuts. All right, the groomsmen, here you go, my friend. Charge! You maniacs. Stephen Rockwood drawing with some Canadian. I'm going to give you two special ones. So let's see here. We're going to go with, of course. Charge! And just for my Canadians out there, here you go.
Understand that I think about families. The biggest, most important economic policy this government, if re-elected, would move forward. You'll forgive me.
That's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. All right, so let's see. See here. Eric Weathers, Pixar needed Lasseter, not the other way around. Amen. Cranberry Langers, here's $2 more on top of that $30K and 497 backers. Are you kidding? Holy cow, Stephen Rockwood. I'm going to have to go check that out. All right, let me see here. All right, let's make sure we get some cheerleaders coming your way. Here you go. Charge! And Timmy Mello. I guess those cheerleaders need monies too. Yes, they do. We try to take care of everybody here, my friend. Absolutely do. Charge! There you go. You guys are maniacs. Thank you so much. I like the new cheerleader. There you go. How long did the new cheerleader take? Oh my gosh, dude. Everything I do takes forever. The intros and everything. Yeah, that's right. It's for you guys. No, Rob. No forgiveness for your antics, Rob. Money. Thank you, Rob. It's great to see you, brother. If you want the link to pop in here, you and Eric, just let me know in the chat, man. I'll send you guys a link. I've been spaced out, getting back on the horse, so to speak. Here you go, Rob. This is for you. She's looking at you, kid. Charge! Bless your hearts. You guys are maniacs. All right, Tank Ferret, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, I love this game. Yeah, I do too. I think Mrs. and Joey loves this game as well. Romy's cracking up. Nice leg lift indeed. Just making sure I've got everybody. Rob, it's great to see you, brother. And Eric, if you're still around, just let me know, guys, if you want the link. I'll send it to you. I'll DM it to you. But what do you call it? But yeah, man, it's just been a madhouse. It's just been a madhouse of building stuff and trying to create stuff because we're here to entertain you guys. I actually ordered, and I don't know, I'll have to talk to John about this, but I was on John's show recently, Jack Malin, to his friends, of course. And he talked about, he's like, you guys need to make show. You guys aren't being exciting enough. So I've ordered some great chinless Halloween masks and things like that. So the next time, I get a chance to be on there, I'm not going to let the guy down. I refuse to be the weak link in the chain. I will be the sausage link in the chain. What am I even doing at this time? Let me see here. Yes, indeed. Oh, okay. Cranberries, blood orange, langers is yeah, there you go, right? Hail cranberry langers. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, it's good to see all of you guys. You guys are awesome. Hail Marone, good to see you, my friend. Yeah. I love seeing the crew all here hanging out, man. It's been a little bit since I've done this. And it's just I was trying to build the, all of the assets and things like that and kind of create things because as I was looking at some of those older YouTube channels and things, I was going, it's so hard to not get complacent and not just, give the same thing over and over and over again. And as more and more people are coming into all of our channels because they're interested in comics and they're like, oh, thank God. It takes a little while for people to find out where we are, and where we're doing all this cool stuff. It dawned on me that, I've got to make sure that I'm doing stuff that helps people to find it, helps people to find out what we're doing here, because I think what we're doing is important. And I think that, all of the stuff I do, whether it's, videos I do, for Ethan or, trailers I do and trailer cuts I do, anything I can do to help is, but also anything I can do to continue to be working with people who are in the wealth creation game and not in the status game, because that's what I'm about. So it's fun to work with people who actually are invested in that and invested in growing their businesses and growing what they do. And I am, and that's why I work so hard on my channel. That's what it is. Hey, what's up, Ellie Munoz? Good to see you, my friend. Got to step out early, buddy. See you next time. See you, everyone. Take care of the groomsmen. Much love, brother. I hope everything's going well out on your coast. And take care. Yes, indeed. It's good to see everybody. Ciao, the groomsmen. Indeed. Tom Bomb, absolutely. Yeah, man. It's just so fun. Hey, what's up, Jay Lee? Good to see you, brother. How you doing? Sean and Jetty Art, I wish I can buy your book, man. Sadly, I don't have enough money right now, but hopefully someday I will. Well, listen, thanks for being here. Hit the like button. That's all I need you guys to worry about. And I know that when things get easier for people, they'll grab a copy of the book. My job is just to make sure everybody knows that this book is going to be sick. It's going to be really, really good. And I think, how do I word it? I've heard people talk about this. And I felt this way. Like there was a time when I was younger when, we all those of us who grew up during, the Image times and saw Rob and Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee and all those guys, we're all like, I've got to come up with my character, right? Like I've got to come up with my character. And in my case, I came up with some characters. I came up with a bunch of stuff during that time. But if I'm honest, I would always think about the effect I wanted the character to have. And I had ideas, but they were very in my own head. And when I'm painting and working on Nosfero, it's the opposite of that. Like I believe in this character. I believe in this world. 40 people watching. My stars and garters. Everybody hit that like and make sure you're subscribed. But when I saw this story, it just unfolded. It was such an overwhelming thing to think about. I'm so grateful because I think that, sometimes there's that creative thing that, and everybody knows, people who know what I'm talking about. It's like, it's the hardest thing to describe, but it really is that being visited by the muse. It's not a very intellectual process. There's parts of it that are, but it really just kind of comes from, your soul in a sense, where you just go, I know who this character is. And when I hear people who are, really creative talking about their stuff, that's always where they go. And Nosfero and the world that he's in is very real to me. I was doing a more refined layout of a very important page in the story. And it's just basically explaining how Nosfero became what he became. And, as the layout was coming together, it's like, I don't know how to word it. I know what the character is supposed to look like. I know what the world is supposed to be about, and you just feel it, man. Oh my God. Gotta love when the porn bots make it. Good for them. Yep. Always show up for CG. Yeah. Well, what are they going to do without that? Yeah. That red flying on the page is blood or fire or bloody fire. Yeah, it's blood for sure, Odin. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, they love us to death. Let's see here. Let's see. Was from an atom bomb by fluke. There you go. Pornbot came for shots cheerleaders. That it did. Visited by the muse. Absolutely. And pornbots. Yeah, I get a little bit of both up in this place. And yeah, I mean, it was like I was listening to that interview with Kanye that's making the rounds, and it was so funny when he was talking about being a creative person who actually makes things, and I guess that's more than anything what the Iron Age is about. The Iron Age um, is having to build the store, not just get the job in the store. You have to do the whole thing. And people who are prolific and creative and make things, if you look hard and if you ask them, you'll see their stuff everywhere. When you talk about people in CG and when we meet each other, I remember when I met Michael Bancroft, I didn't know when I met him that I saw his animations, but I didn't know that he drew the Lucent. I didn't know any of that stuff. And when he met me, he didn't know that I was, that I was the creator of all of those videos and those memes and things like that on Ethan's channel. But it's like, that's what busy people do. Busy people are always working on something, always, and always contributing. And I would say that to anybody who's interested in CG and launching a book is think about, how do I word this? Trying to think the best way. You're going to have to be more productive than you can imagine. You're going to have to treat it like you're building it in some ways by yourself, but also find the opportunities for you to participate in chats, make things, and try to improve everything going on. Because here, unlike in a bad bureaucracy, people notice, man. People notice. That's the answer. Okay, there you go. How do you take away the Indiegogo tip? Yeah, you just put a 0, I think. Did they make it mandatory now? Good Lord. Mods ban the porn bots, not delete nor timeout. Yeah, okay, gotcha. I just thought of this. The people against the Iron Age is kind of like the same people who run against comics back in Comics Code. Yep, they sure are. CG equals always be working. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Comicsgate is, and I mean, look at, that's why, again, it's interesting, when you meet somebody who's a fellow painter and artist, I think there's always this kind of, this kind of bond that we have, like with my studio mate. But it made me really happy to see that stream from Anna earlier today, where she talked about, because I don't think she talks about it nearly, maybe it's just that's part of the charm, but it made me feel happy to see Anna talk about how hard she works, that she's busting her ass every single day. You'd have to be a total fool not to see how much work she does and how much content that she puts out. We all have the same amount of hours in the day. When you see somebody being that productive, they're not stopping. And that goes for Nick Wakeda, that goes for Ethan, that goes for all of these people. All of us have, families and people in our lives that, need time from us and need to talk to us about things. And we've got, our friends, and we've got, our work, and we've got, distribution and paper and media. And then we have to get into that zone to do a show or to paint at the same time in some cases. And I just think that it's one of those things to where you can practice seeing how you're going to be at it anytime. You can start a YouTube channel anytime and just see how consistent you can be and how, or see how effective you can be. Try to grow an audience and then try to, maintain that standard of quality. And that's, to me, that's what makes it, that's why it's so great, is that you can draw a comic before you draw a Comicsgate book, and you can see like how hard it is and how, what kind of interest you can get to it. And that's it. That's what makes all this stuff possible. Gosh, I love painting stuff like this. I just love this stuff, guys. People are against the Iron Age. Well, I would say people are certainly against the biggest proponents of the Iron Age. So I think people are against Razor Fist. I think people are against Ethan Van Sciver. I think people are against Eric July. I think people are against it's indie media. And yeah, the corporations are totally against it. Absolutely against it. And that's the thing that's kind of bizarre. Yeah. It's a hedge of protection against a dying mainstream. Yeah. I mean, listen, I will tell you this, that if you want to make friends, my experience has been, if you want to make friends in academia, or if you want to make friends in any institutionalized system with a bureaucracy, don't be excellent, whatever you do. and certainly don't expect excellence to get you attention. Showing your submission to the bureaucracy and being average and not making any waves is the ultimate way. And the Iron Age is the opposite of that. Because when you have people who don't want to make waves and don't want to say anything that is, not run through committee, that's the opposite of creativity and art. And that's what you guys are seeing. You don't ask for permission when you do this stuff. You've got to be driven. And you've got to know what you're going to do. And I think that, I think that there's a lot of people, the very same people who think that some people shouldn't have a right to speak, or only the right kind of people should be allowed to have a voice. Yeah, those are the people who are against the Iron Age, because what they're against is people being able to just go out and do things as individuals and be successful. They feel like that you should have to have permission from a governing body before you're allowed to be rewarded. And that's the big difference. And it scares them, the fact that about us going straight to the customers. That's what the problem they have with it is. It's kind of tragic. They don't want fan favorites. John, I'm not surprised that anyone who care that notice enough to be against it. Yeah, exactly. Friends vary in quality. Choose wisely. Amen. An audience for my channel. What's that? Ellie Munoz, yeah. One of the things I hated about college was the bureaucracy. I had to repeat classes because I switched schools, taking classes that were useless to what I wanted to do for a career. Absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's someone was a friend of mine who is a stand-up comic was talking to me about this once, and he goes, "You've never seen a more resentful and cutthroat environment than you'll see in comedy, where comedians are just like angry for another person's success and everything like that. It's a weird thing, but yeah, it must be tough to realize you're not the funniest one when you think you should be." Random McRanderson coming in with $10 Canadian. I think the Iron Age is a bad name for indie media. It's so backwards. The media companies killed themselves off. This is more like the Enlightenment, where ideas grow and flourish. Yeah, I think there's definitely a case to be made, my friend. There's definitely a case to be made. And thank you for $10 Canadian super chat. I do appreciate it. And of course, that means I have to celebrate. Charge! I think people are comfortable with the leg lift, it seems. Hello, Random McRanderson. Whoa, Stephen Rockwood Drawing is saying 498 backers? Are you serious? My stars. Let me take a look here. Let me call up and see what we've got going on here. So present. I don't know why they call it present now. It's a little weird. Share screen. Chrome tab. Walking and chewing gum, guys. Let's see what we've got here. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me do this. Add this to stream. We are at 31,305. We are just cruising now. We are guys. Get the word out on Twitter. We are 2 backers away from 500 backers. One of the biggest Comicsgate milestones you can cross is 500 backers. 31K and 498 backers. You have got to be kidding me. Holy cow. This is wild. Oh my gosh. Cowabunga. Another thing I love about the Iron Age is it tells you to be the Steve Ditko. Tells you to be your Steve Ditko did not walk in wanting someone else wanting to be Steve Ditko. You're absolutely right. Regulators, our audience, mount up. Got Blade's YouTube channel. Yes, indeed. Check it out. Why aren't there sit-down comedians? I ask the hard questions. You do, KSSS. And KSSS, if I haven't said it already, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, my friend. And much love. Oh, you beat me to it. Happy birthday. Of course you did. What was I thinking? I'm a rookie here. Bless the day of your birth, KSSS. Exactly so, right? I like Iron Age. It's strong, back to basics, rip away the pretension. But if someone has a better idea, it might catch on. Yeah, here's what I would also say about it. And I think this is important, guys. The Iron Age is important and not the Enlightenment. And I like that idea, Random McGranderson, to be clear, about, the idea of the Enlightenment. But here's the thing. They've taken that. They view themselves as being the enlightened ones, which is so twisted and weird. And the thing that they're afraid of, their kryptonite, dare I say, Their kryptonite is hard work, and iron sounds like hard work. And I think that's the biggest thing that they're running into, which is if you want to scare off bureaucrats, tell them what you have to do is going to, what they have to do is going to involve hard work. They will leave, period. Like, it's the biggest rule of thumb for anybody on YouTube, for any creator, is if you want to, know like, oh, what do I make of this person, or what is this person about? Look at how hard they work, look at what they do, and look at how much they contribute. It's the easiest thing in the world. And, people who are afraid of hard work, I see people who build things from the ground up. They surround themselves by people who they think appreciate them. But if they were to really look around them, they'd say these people aren't working. And sure enough, what always happens is they get thrown under the bus or canceled by these people, and there's no one around. Surround yourself with people who work hard and who are productive and know how to go out there and make things happen. And I give you some really good examples. When I think of my brother, Jeremy Lord Crackhead 33, he has been a hardcore Game of Thrones fan forever. Loves Game of Thrones, loves that entire world. And so his channel has been blowing up because of House of Dragons. And the thing that gets me about that is that it's where preparation and lots of hard work meets opportunity. He was building that channel for a while. He just crossed over to 1,000. And now look at him. Now it's like that show comes out. He's an expert on it. I saw him talking about it on John Malin's channel the other night. And it makes me smile, man, because he's been really supportive of Nosfero and from the jump, him and Bancroft and all these amazing guys. And it makes me happy to see their success. And I think that was a quote. I think it was from Wolf of Wall Street that Anna was quoting, and a lot of people quote, which was, pay attention to who doesn't clap when you win. And I think that's a very weird thing, because it's true. There's people who just pathologically cannot be happy for other people's success, and get them away from you as fast as you can. It's not worth it. Oh my God, look at all of these posts. Holy cow. A sit-down comedian with a foot injury. That's me, actually. But at this point, not a foot injury, but a sit-down comedian. Let's see. You meet the most honest people in CG. That's right. The truth comes out. I'm no Stan Lee when it comes to spelling. I'm not either. Is that why they love illegal immigration, to create a slave class to do labor for them? Well, I think, how do I put it? The reasoning for that is actually really simple. Hold on a second. Iron Age was when the economy shifted from aggregation to industrial. Yes. Holy cow. Excellent link work, John, by the way. I think of myself as a caveman, so primal is. That's right. Great links there. Tari, haters always going to hate. Here's what I would say. All right. Here's what I would say as far as why that is the case. Because they're terrified of treating this country as it should be treated. You're a citizen if you're born here. And if you want to come into this country and become a citizen, we want the best of the best. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that. We need doctors. We need people who, and we definitely learned that. There's a shortage of doctors. There's a shortage of medical care professionals. We need people who are excellent. We need engineers. We need people who are going to do things. Try getting a job in Canada and see how that goes. People who are citizens there get the first take on it, but they are looking for people who are, the best of the best to come over there. And I think they're so afraid of that, they have now completely reframed the entire conversation to be about it. Just, we must be open to all. And the problem is that penalizes, and I have many family members and friends who, have come to this country, and because we had a need as a country that they could fill, particularly in the 70s and another time like we're in now. But they don't view it that way. They're afraid because they know that they'll have to compete with people with more work ethic or with more opportunity, let's say, because I think you do see quite a few people with a tremendous amount of work ethic, but their real concern is the status and maintaining their status. And that's what's gross. Exactly. Hello, Oni64. Good to see you, my friend. And of course, those bots are out in force. Let's see here. Back Nosfero. Thank you so much. Yes, John, you're welcome. Let me make sure I've got everybody's chat here because it jumped. Yeah. And you have to think about it this way too, right? Is that there's so many brilliant people in the world, and there's so many brilliant people. Every country, particularly countries that are in that rare percentage that have been able to establish a country where you're able to benefit from it if you come in here, need to make sure of a couple of things. One, that people believe in the principles of this country. I should know. I remember when my high school girlfriend was studying for her citizenship test, and helping her with that. And it's like you have to want to be here, and you have to want to appreciate it. And I've also had in my town and a lot of places in this country, but in particular in my town, we had a lot of refugees from Cambodia, from the Khmer Rouge, and that communist regime. And, there has to be an understanding of the value of this place. You really have to understand it and love it and understand the tremendous responsibility. What's up, Mighty Magic? Great to see you. Hail to you, my friend. Reframing conversation. You mean like shifting over to the window? Yes. And retconning history. Yep. That's pretty much it. But that's a very Marxist thing anyway. It's like they erased Chinese culture. Mao was able to erase Chinese culture in a generation. That's pretty damn amazing. And hail to 40 people in here. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Hail chat, says Mighty Magic. Random McGranderson, Charlie Stevenson, the Iron Age ends in 600 BC. You nerds, I love our chat. It's like we get in. If we could we talk about a rook for a little bit here? Where's Michael? I mean, that's what we do here. Love it. Greece, the first century in Europe. The Industrial Revolution doesn't start for another 1,800 years. Indeed. Sean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for that Flint Flossie will be on Ethan's tonight? Is there an 11? I'm on an 11 for that, man. That's absolutely great. That is, you want to talk about, building towards a dream bit by bit. That's got to be the realization of a dream. It's up there with the Cyberfrog toys. Brilliant people like the Fourth Age YouTube channel. There you go. Way to segue, John. I do appreciate it. It's amazing and scary. Yeah, listen, guys. Is he going to sing Shut Your Mouth? I don't know. But he might. And that's why everybody's got to tune in. I remember I have the fondest and funniest memory in my head of the burning of the soy pants on Ethan's channel, and just going back to all of that stuff. And I think it would do all of you guys, if you're interested, don't do anything you're not interested in doing, but it would do anybody who's thinking about doing this kind of stuff a lot of good to go back and look at how bare bones and simple most of us start when we start down this road of being YouTubers and people not showing their faces and all of that kind of stuff, because that's a big part of what we do here. That's a big part of what it is about, is that it's hard work, and you get to see the hard work. You can't fake it. I think that's why that might be why so many people who are part of the establishment who need to hide behind these brands in order, for them to seem like they have any capacity whatsoever. They need the status of these brands. That's where they derive their stature or their sense of excellence from, is perceived legitimacy, as Eric July would say. I think the thing about it is that they know when they get on YouTube, and if they try to talk to an audience, no one's going to watch. It's crazy, man. Let's see here. Comic artist Pro Secrets is going to be hilarious. Yes, show tonight. I agree. Waffle Iron Tailgate to CG Kings. Amen. Yeah, that's right. Hi, everyone. Quick plug. I'm doing a daily art challenge over on my channel. All right. Neon Todd Studios, guys. There it is for October. If you like horror fantasy, check it out. Excellent. Let's see here. Let's see here. A duck-billed platypus has feet like a duck, but it's furry. I remember that commercial. They're all in my wildlife treasury. I remember that commercial. And the duck-billed platypus has feet like a duck, but he's furry. Yeah, there you go. Exactly, Sean. The Constitution is one of the greatest documents ever written in human history. Its purpose is to protect the citizens from the government, which always becomes corrupt over time. I agree 100%. Look forward to hearing Flint Flossie speaking in interview style. I cannot wait. 40% Zed. I suggest skimming college-educated people from poor countries destroys those countries. That's true. How many generations can we remove higher IQ people from the gene pool before they can no longer produce high IQ? Um, hmm. That is a really interesting. That is a really interesting way of looking at it. Here's what I would say, though, and this is a big important thing. This is I mean this sincerely. One of the things that makes our system of government and so amazing and so fascinating, and why we try to give equal opportunity, not equality of outcome, to everybody, is you honestly can never know where genius is going to come from. There's no you could say, oh well, these people have. I've seen people with two smart parents not have a smart kid. I've seen people have kids that do things they can't even understand where this kid came from. So I do think that there's something to be said, but I think it should encourage people. People should be encouraged to reward genius, and it's up to that person. If I look at it another way, if a person is a genius and brilliant and their abilities merit opportunity and they're in an environment where there's extreme deprivation and their opportunities are limited, is it better for the human species that they never be able to reach their fullest potential just because of people wanting to be around them? I'm not so sure. And so that was a big part of my career decisions, which is, yeah, it might benefit some people, but if they're not giving me what I need, peace out, as that crazy thing said on that show, G4. I suggest giving college as people poor countries destroy. Charlie Stevenson. They made stuff other than farm equipment, weapons, etc. It's expensive to make metal. Still, it was so common. Neon Todd's YouTube channel. There you go. Excellent. Thank you so much, Charlie Stevenson. The Age of Craftsmen, when people produced food for others in addition to themselves. Amen. Oh my gosh. Is it Turihiki? Is that how I pronounce it? Wow, I have no idea what you are talking about, but your painting is awesome. I just love the craft of the Pulp comic covers, no matter the country they come from. Amen. And I agree with you 100%. And I have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's good to see you here. And thank you for coming by. What I'm working on today are two paintings. One of them is this, and the other one is this. This is for the Snuggie Junior's bookmark campaign. So this is another one of the pieces that I'm working on today. So for those of you guys who are curious how this is going, I was going in and working on wrapping it up today. So that's kind of the plan. But yeah, that's what we do here. We make great artwork and we talk and have fun. So yeah, love it and welcome. Those poor countries also need those people to become not poor. That's true. Hey, Sean, I'm curious. Did you see the new Velma trailer? No, I have not yet. I don't think I can do it. IQ is not hard links to genealogical lineage. What Shanth is saying right now. Yes. It's fascinating. And nor is creativity. You just don't know. When I saw Ethan say Flint Flossie will be on, I didn't see it live, but my response was, shut your mouth. Exactly. Hello, John. Old Dirty Fatty says, me a genius. Amen. I am too. I had a friend, the same kid who stabbed me in the face with a pencil. His mom was an English teacher. And he said to me, we were driving a car with his mom, and God, this was after that. We were still carpooling. It was weird. And he goes, yeah, my mom's an English teacher. And I said, don't worry, Rob, I talk good English as a joke. And it cracked his mom up. English teachers need laughter too. Me a genius. One man's genius is another man's madman. IQ are highly overrated. Yes, that's true. And are on par with lie detector tests for overall accuracy. Yeah, I don't know how do I word it? I don't think that there's nothing to testing, but I also don't think that we can predict where things are going to, you just don't know where the next genius is going to come from. I look at George Harriman, I look at Winsor McKay, I look at Osamu Tezuka. I mean, these people had skill, but where would they, how would they do on an aptitude test? Would an aptitude test, if they had a high IQ and someone else had a high IQ, only one of them is going to invent the linguistics for modern manga. I mean, think about it. That's amazing. One man's genius is another man's IQ. And hey, Hunch the Dirty Roofer, it is great to see you. Back Andy Smith's core draft, absolutely. Andy Smith was on the show. Hail to Andy Smith, and it was great to have him on the show. Yeah, those guys are great. I love what they're working on. Nosfero looks like it's squishing a bunch of cranberries. It is kind of. Genius comes from stress, not ease. Amen. Absolutely right. So does Iron. I too have no idea what anyone is talking about. Day drinking is a B. Yes, that's right. That's sick. There you go. Oh, I guess it's a Rob piece. Back Nosfero. See here. Stabbed you in the face with a pencil. What did you do to deserve it? I can't remember. Here's what happened. We were wrestling on the ground, right? And I had him, and I had him down, and then this kid was crazy. He did a blind swing with a pencil into my face, and it broke off. I don't know what side. Almost hit my eye. It snapped off right on that bone. You can still see it. The pencil lead's in there. It's blue. It never got taken out, so it is what it is. But, shit happens. I caught up with him later after he was done with his next class. Let's see here. IQ is the best researched idea in psychology. If you don't believe IQ, you don't believe any part of modern psychology. You shouldn't use its terms. Okay, there you go. Chat huffing copium about IQ. All right. B Rose, what's up, B Rose? Sending love to Houston, baby. Hail to you, my friend. Old Dirty Fatty. John, 1,000 more. You are only one consistently say hi, and it's appreciated. John, there are like 7 different quotient Q scales. There's one for fashion if memory serves. Oh, interesting. LB Rose Comics. When I was a kid, the career advisor said, look, I advise you to get a career. So I took the test, and the best career path chosen for me was jury duty. Yeah, I've been there. B Rose, hail. John, what's the next movie review for Double Impact this week? Oh, my friends, are you ready? And love the bearded. Hail to you and to Lopan, Mr. David Lopan of the Wing Kong Exchange. Not a reference to King Kong, even though the font is exactly the same out on the building. Just kidding, it is. We're going to be talking about The Crow, Brandon Lee's final film, and a great comic pulp film. Love it, and we're all looking forward to it. So yeah, we're talking about The Crow. So Blade was this past week, and The Crow. I'm in heaven. Happy birthday, KSSS. Absolutely. Leftists make up a lot of things. They call it science. Amen. I would say they don't believe in history. They believe in hearsay. And that's what they're teaching. They're teaching hearsay at this point. B Rose Comics YouTube channel. Thank you, John. Jonathan Jetty art. Whoa, geez, just jumped. What do you think about the real life superhero community? I'm not sure. I don't have an opinion on it at this point. David Dominguez is Cerebrum. That's right. Our boy B Rose. Check it out on Indiegogo. I love that movie. Yeah, I love that movie too. Eric Weathers, never seen it. Well, check it out before our stream, dude. I'd love to hear what you think of it. Thank you for remembering my Doge, B Rose Comics. Absolutely. Chef's Kiss says MC. Absolutely, my friend. And thank you for that. I appreciate it. When I was a kid, they didn't have those aptitude tests anymore, and you were expected to waste your first year of university figuring out what you wanted to study. It sucks. Yeah, now you waste all 4 years. The Crow was huge when it came out. Yeah, and I was a massive Brandon Lee fan at the time. Heartbroken and loved it, man. It was a great movie, but heartbroken. Ooh, that'll be a good discussion. Cerebum, Brandon Lee should have ducked too soon. Yes. Oh my God, you guys. Oh man. Let's see here. Happy birthday, my Doge. B Rose Comics. Oh, thank you again, John. Hey, we hit 12K. There you go. Excellent. Congratulations, B Rose. Congratulations, my friend. Holy cow. It's absolutely a madhouse. I can't believe that we are still 2 backers away from 500. You guys are crazy, man. You guys have driven this thing so far, and it's just only going up. I think when people saw that that splash page or that photo I took of all of the artwork I've done for the book laid out, I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's what he's up to." I mean, for you guys who've been in here with me for the last year. Watching me do all of this stuff and watching me do all of this work, I know you guys know how much I've been doing and how many pages there are, but it is a whole nother thing to see them all laid out like that. And I think that's what people respond to. And of course, the kindness of other channels continuing to promote the book too, while I promote it here and having people on here. I mean, it really isn't a safe to crack or anything like that. It really is just hard work and taking every opportunity that that comes your way. And every opportunity, frankly, at this point, I'm sure for a lot of people, it's every opportunity you're capable of taking, because in an ideal world, I would freeze time and I would just do every single thing, that I wanted to do. But the busier you get and the more demand you have for your artwork and the more demand you have for your skills, the harder it gets to, you can't do everything. You have to pick and choose. And that's, for someone like me who would just work and never sleep, which I'm, I'm paying for. You gotta just, sometimes you gotta kind of say, okay, I've got to do this and focus on this thing right now because I can't do everything. And even if you want to, I think sometimes that's the real challenge. But again, I'm never going to see it as not a good problem to have. It's a great problem to have, that things are going well, and I'm grateful every single day for it. There we go. Now we're starting to get this guy. Now this guy's getting serious. He's ready to lay down some hurting. That's what it's about. Let me see if I can adjust that light and get that face to show up a little bit more, because it's actually not nearly as contrasty. The problem I'm running into is that, yeah, there you go. Moromi, don't beat me to it. There you go. Do you like Sam Raimi's Darkman? Yes, I do. Moromi is putting the pieces together and solved Brandon Lee's death. Us nerds get to say we were into Sean and Jetty's art before it was big. It sold out. He sold out. Absolutely right. Oh my gosh. Halloween ain't till mañana. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Yeah. I'm totally blanking on. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Hold on a second. Funboy, T-Bird, Skank. I'm not looking at the stream. You guys are gonna give it to me. This is gonna kill me because it's one of my favorite movies. Oh, why can't I get this guy's name? It's right on the tip of my tongue. I cannot come up with it. Shit. Bird, Funboy, Skank, and I tag out. I can't get it. It's pissing me off. What is his name? It's killing me, that quote. It's going to drive me crazy. Happy birthday. Everybody saying hello, hello, hello. This is going to be a series or just one story. It starts with one story. This is a self-contained story, but it's going to be an ongoing story because I have stories for the next book, but every book will end. So you can buy this book and it will start and it will end, and you'll have, and it's, I love Razor Fist Pulp philosophy that he talks about, which is high plot, lower page count. So you get a story that moves, it introduces you to a ton of stuff, and then it's out, and then you're on to the next one. And it's a book you can take out and just go on that richly painted adventure whenever you want to. And it's just like an Ice Queen. Thanks, KSS. Absolutely. Is this going to be a series? Hunter Roofer. Yeah. Typing and sometimes porn, blah, blah, blah. Moromi, Brandon Lee's death. Us nerds get blah, blah. What the heck is the name of that guy? It's driving me crazy. Razor Fist YouTube channel. Absolutely right. Okay, I'm looking it up. That's how lame this is. This is such an embarrassment. Let me see here. Where's the man? Come on. Where is he? Tintin. I forgot. That's right. Tintin. Of course, because he's named after a classic comic character, just spelt a little differently. That is a trip. How did I forget that, man? How did I forget that? That character was awesome. Moromi, it's great to see you, man. KSSS, absolutely. Oh my gosh, look at all you lunatics in here. It's an ongoing self-contained story. Well, you're absolutely right. So I'm looking at, I work right now when I'm working right next to me. I've got my copy of the first Doc Savage collection. So this has got Doc Savage, Man of Bronze, and the Land of Terror in it as well. And so if you think about this first book of Nosfero is essentially my Doc Savage Man of Bronze. It's going to introduce you to the world, introduce you to the characters, show you everything. They're going to go on an adventure, and that adventure is going to teach you about all of those things. So there's a simultaneity to it that's really important to me, and that's what I'm going for. Because I don't want people to get this book and then feel like it's just a part of, be overly aware that it only makes sense in a larger context. I want people to see this book and know what this book is about and understand, when they get to the end of this book, they have a satisfying ending to it. And that to me is it's just how I want to tell stories, because, I don't want to leave the audience. I don't want to leave the audience hanging for this type of thing, because it's essential for the creating the reality of it and building this world. Is that you get a fulfilling story, so you're actually kind of ready for the next adventure, because where the characters are, you're invested, and so the things that I'm going to do to them, and have them go through and have them experience in future episodes, you'll have context for them because you've seen them, excuse me, go through complete adventures. I liken it to, I guess, I mean, it's hardly analogous, but when you think about Stranger Things, it has multiple seasons, but that first season of the show, if that had been it for the show, it would have been, you would have had a completed show. You would have been able for it to stop there. I mean, who knows if it would have been a success or not. They didn't know when they were making it anyway that it was going to be this, big success. So my attitude is to treat it like, if this is the last comic book I ever do, that it's something I'm proud of, and that it takes you, goes from A to B, because for me, it's just, I want to make sure that everything I do is is completed and has a nice sort of wrap up for the audience who's buying it and reading it. And you guys, my customers, thank God for you. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Randall Granderson, Tintin, Snowy Captain. What's his face? Crab Simple. Yeah, bad guy. That's right. Those were great comics from my childhood. I love that. I've got a whole Hergé section over there. Amazing artist. Ham Radio, indeed. I'm about to take an ice cold shower doing the Wim Hof thing. Wow. If you don't see me later, I'm probably frozen. Well, take care. We need you. It's an ongoing kind of story. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. 10. Transmission completed. I'm done talking. The more you know. Absolutely. Ham sandwich, ham radio. Ham, indeed. 40 people in here. Please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure that you subscribe. Thank you for checking it out. We are 2 backers away from 500 backers on Nosfero. I cannot believe it. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do to get the word out about the book. It is always appreciated. And we're making something really outstanding together, because it's like without you guys backing these projects and without your support, this stuff doesn't happen. And every single backer is important at any level. Every single backer is important. That's a reality of crowdfunding. There's no such thing as an unimportant backer, because you need every single dollar that goes to the campaign makes it possible to create it. It's not just the book; it's paying for the ability to do this thing, and it's got to make sense. You guys are essentially, competing with the big two when you guys back CG campaigns. You're saying we can fund better books than you can. And with all their resources, they still can't touch us. And that's the thing that I love about what we're doing, is that, people are basically saying, if you won't give me what I want from artwork, I'm going to show you what I want, and I'm going to fund what I want. And I love that. That's one of the things that makes me the most proud of what we're doing here, is that, the ability to say, not only, I'm not just going to say, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that. I'm going to show you guys that I can take my money elsewhere. And I can take my hard-earned dollars somewhere else, and I can actually pay somebody with craftsmanship and skill and motivation to make something beautiful. And I can do that with a group of people. And that's the only way these things are possible. That's the only way we make it happen. Let's see here. Yes, indeed. Look at all you people. Patrick Thomas Parnell's absolutely 40. Is Malin here? Malt liquor. That's right. Good old John Malin. It's good to see Jack around these days. I had a fun stream last night talking to my brother Jeremy, man. Patrick Thomas Parnell's Last of the Seekers, Robot and Toy Comic Book Guys. Yes, please do back them. They could use it. It's important. Ooh, take the money and run. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. God, yeah. That's I can't imagine that. I remember thinking about that one time, and it just gives me anxiety and stress. Like, I'm just like, my brain can't even go there. My brain can't even go there. It's like, oh, Lord. Yeah, I mean, you guys know this because you spend time with us. We all work so hard and to put the stuff out there. And the reward of doing this, nobody walks away from an 18-year career. I was talking with my wife about this earlier today, is that nobody should think for a second that I had any guarantees. I had a guarantee in one sense. If I had stayed in I don't want to say a job anymore, too. I got to stop saying that. It was a career. It took me every one of those 18 years to get to the point to where I was getting, the ability to, make a, not a great living doing the work I did, because I loved teaching. I loved helping people. And I thought that, that people in that industry and that field did too. And, you learn lessons. You live and learn, then get loves. And but it was, believe me, it's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to get there. And to walk away from it was a massive leap of faith. And like with anybody, it wasn't, it wasn't done with guarantees. It wasn't done with any of that stuff. And so when I look around and I see what has happened in the last year, I'm still, processing it. I'm still like, oh, okay, well, like, I guess that happened. I guess that worked out in that particular way. And there's miles to go before I sleep. But building something with that you have equity in was important to me. So we got 37 people. Skip Edwards, it's great to see you, my friend. Terrific to see you. John dropping more links than Oscar Mayer. Backed a lot of CG books in these past months. Me too. I love it. And that's great. I'm so glad to hear that. So guys, here's what I want to do, right? Shanth, you had a guarantee of misery. Absolutely right. If you continue there, you are absolutely right. So let me do this too, guys. I want to do this before we go, because I want to make sure I share this with you guys. And if it doesn't, if it does nothing for you, it does nothing for you. If it does, great. But I promised myself I was going to do this today because I thought it was important, and I wanted to share it with people, because a lot of stuff I've been seeing, excuse me, I've been seeing online, and a lot of, as the Iron Age kind of is being hammered out, so to speak, right now. One of the things that we're seeing is people are trying to like figure out, like, well, what is the governing philosophy? Well, and I can't speak to that because I'm not, I'm not in no one's in charge of anything but their own career and things like that. But I read this, and this was a huge part of me making decisions I've made. So if you'll indulge me here, let me see if I can find it. Put this up on screen here. Here you go. And then add. And let me close this side thing if I can. Is there a way to close it? I don't know. All right. Well, this is what we got. So here we are. So I read this Twitter thread, and I was mesmerized by it, and I thought, this is brilliant. So here you go. Here's what I read that really changed the way I thought about things and how I think about things in general. And it was a Twitter thread called How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky by a very smart dude. Here you go. Step 1, seek wealth, not money or status. Wealth is having assets that earn while you sleep. Money is how we transfer time and wealth. Status is your place in the social hierarchy. What's the difference between people like us and people like them? Is they're looking for status in the social hierarchy, and we are looking to actually gain wealth and put in time and build something that lasts. Understand that ethical wealth creation is possible. If you secretly despise wealth, it will elude you. It's a great one. Ignore people playing status games. They gain status by attacking people playing wealth creation games. Nick Rekieta is playing wealth creation games. The people attacking him are playing status games. You're not going to get rich renting out your time. You must own equity, a piece of a business, to gain your financial freedom. Make things you own. Do not work on other people's characters that you don't own if you want to gain wealth. You have to create something you have equity in. You will get, this is so obvious and brilliant, you will get rich by giving society what it wants, but does not yet know how to get at scale. Period. Full stop. Pick an industry where you can play long-term games with long-term people. I'd like to think I've met a lot of long-term people here, and I hope that's how they're thinking, because that's certainly how I'm thinking. The internet has massively broadened the possible space of careers. Most people haven't figured this out yet. Absolutely true. The next one, play iterated games. All the returns in life, whether in wealth, relationships, or knowledge, come from compound interest. I love that line. Here's a big one, guys. Can't say this enough. Pick business partners with high intelligence, energy, and above all, integrity. Don't partner with cynics and pessimists. Their beliefs are self-fulfilling. Do not partner with cynics and pessimists. Their beliefs are self-fulfilling. And I love the previous one. Pick business partners with high intelligence, energy, and above all, integrity. Very important. Here's another one. Almost out of the Comicsgate playbook. Learn to sell, learn to build. If you can do both, you will be unstoppable. Here's another one. Arm yourself with specific knowledge, accountability, and leverage. Specific knowledge is key. What I'm doing here is specific knowledge. Learning how to do all these things, guys. That's what you're after. Specific knowledge is found by pursuing your genuine curiosity and passion rather than whatever is hot right now. I can't overstate that. Look at Jeremy, Lord Crackhead 33. He's loved George R.R. Martin's fantasy stuff, and here it is. The opportunity is presenting itself, and he's ready for it. He's not chasing it. Let's see here. Here you go. Specific knowledge is knowledge that you cannot be trained for. If society can train you, it can train someone else and replace you. There's a big one. Specific knowledge is found by pursuing your genuine curiosity and passion rather than whatever's hot. I think I missed that previous one. Here you go. Building specific knowledge will feel like play to you, but will look like work to others. I love that one. Whether specific knowledge is taught, when specific knowledge is taught, it's through apprenticeships, not schools, 100%. Specific knowledge is often highly technical or creative. It cannot be outsourced or automated. Full stop. That's what I think about AI-fueled art. Embrace accountability and take business risks under your own name. Society will reward you with responsibility, equity, and leverage. I love this quote from Archimedes. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Great quote. Fortunes require leverage. Business leverage comes from capital, people, and products with no marginal cost of replication, code, and media. Capital means money. To raise money, apply your specific knowledge with accountability and show resulting good judgment. Labor means people working for you. It's the oldest and most fought over form of leverage. Labor leverage will impress your parents, but don't waste your life chasing it. Capital and labor are permissioned leverage. Everyone is chasing capital, but someone has to give it to you. Everyone is trying to lead, but someone has to follow you. Code and media are permissionless leverage. They're the leverage behind the newly rich. You can create software and media that works for you while you sleep. An army of robots is freely available. It's just packed in data centers for heat and space efficiency. Use it. If you can't code, write books and blogs, record videos and podcasts. That's a big one. Leverage is a force multiplier for your judgment. Judgment requires expertise, but can be built faster by learning foundational skills. I can't overstate that. Learn foundational skills. And here's my favorite. There is no skill called business. Avoid business magazines and business classes. I always thought that was fascinating. So there you guys go. Those are my words. Good morning, Dean. It's great to see you, Gabe. It is great to see you, my brother. How you doing? And finally, don't cut off your mullet. I mean, many have said it before, Eric. Shanth, clip this reading and re-up. I might have to censor out all my stammering. Aetherline, it's good to see you. Hello. Patrick, David, great at explaining these wealth-building tools. Amen. This is the best advice heard the first part before, but so much more. Yeah, it's great. Clout chasing. Oh, no. Hail, Teflon Ron. It's great to see you, brother. No, hit the wrong stream link. You guys. Oh, God, the chat kills me today. Oh, my God. Oh, God, I love you guys. You guys are the best. Cracking me up. Yes, absolutely. Everybody's saying hello to my brother, Gabe. My brother, Gabe, is the ultimate exemplar of that. We share a lot of wisdom back and forth, the two of us, and he distills for me one of my favorite ones on here. And Gabe, if you're still here and you're still listening, this one is absolutely the one that I think of. Pick business partners with high intelligence, energy, and above all, integrity. Don't partner with cynics and pessimists. Their beliefs are self-fulfilling. Gabe has intelligence, energy, and above all, integrity, and that is why I like working with him, and that's why I do work with him. And that's key. And that's what you want to surround yourself with. It's always great to see Dean. Everybody's saying hello. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate you guys being here. Check out Dean's channel, of course. Indeed, here lies Jonathan Jetty dead from humor. If that's how I want to go, and you guys are great at making it possible. So thank you guys for coming in here today. It's been great seeing you. I know Comicsgate Kings is going to be starting soon. There might even be pre-shows. And then, of course, there's post-Kangs with John Malin. Guys, don't miss it. Some things on this channel change. Some things will never change. It was about 90% accurate, pretty high percentage. Yeah, it's pretty decent. I think you're right, old dirty fatty. But let me say this, guys. The one thing that will never change is our closeout song. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the super chats today. It was great to see. You guys are terrific. And so, yeah, get your tailgate on, and I will see you guys in the chat on all the various streams we have coming up today. And hail to the Kings and hail to the post-Kangs. Take care, people. I tip my cap to you. Bow indeed. Thank you. And as always, stay gold. All right? Stay gold because we need you. Peace.
Here's a little something for you busters. Yeah.
You're not even learning anything on the street.
Yeah.
You think I'm stupid, son?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say to you, boy?
Hey, what's up with that?
Look at me, damn it!
Y'all cowards don't even smoke crack. What's up with
You
that?
smoke crack, don't you?
Y'all cowards don't even smoke crack.
Look at me, boy!
Hey to
You
you,
smoke crack, don't you?
don't even smoke crack.
You know what that does to you? Huh? You smoke crack, don't you?
Smoke crack.
Go on and do it expeditiously.
What's up with that?
It kills your brain cells, son. It kills your brain cells.
Don't even smoke crack.
No guts, huh?
I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now.